Hello and welcome to another recap. This time we're going over the Midwest Mallards and the Eastern Eagles series. If you haven't watched the video, make sure you go watch it. Also, we're on the road to 1K. Just hit 700, so we got a few more to go, so make sure you're hitting that like button, hit subscribe. Leave a comment about what you think about the video, and yeah, let's just jump into it. So, as you probably already know, that's been everywhere. The Eastern Eagles swept the Mallards 3-0 in the series. The first game was really the only close one, and the last two, the Mallards just never had an answer for the Eagles' offense or for their pitching. In the first game, Dallas Allen again continued his dominance. He only let up one hit to Caden Irwin, which was great to see Caden back. But this was the first time that you saw Jordan or Tommy go hitless in a game, and man, they could just not figure out the Eagles. On the other side, the Eagles struggled. Robles was doing really well this game. He only let up 2 hits. But as you're going to see later, that only continued for a little bit, and the Eagles were really able to figure out Jordan Robles. In the next game, the Eagles went the first 2 innings, 6 runs and 6 runs. Jordan Robles only pitched 2 outs. And then after that, you had an array of people coming in. Tommy came in, let up 5 runs. Caden came in, let up only 1 run. And then Brendan Davenport at least came in and saved a hitless or earned run inning. So he looked the best second pitcher for the Mallards going forward. But man, the Eagles played super well this series. But man, the Eagles played super well in this game. Both Schultz and Urgaitis had a home run. Both of them, Daniel Schultz had 4 RBIs. Dallas Allen had 2 hits and 4 RBIs. Zach Whalen only had 2 at-bats, but he had 3 walks. Blade Walker had 2 walks. Daniel Schultz pitched lights out, only let up 3 hits and an earned run, and had 6 Ks. So Daniel struggled a little bit, just a tiny bit compared to Robles and Mallards, but they played super well. On the other side, the Midwest Mallards only had 3 hits. 2 of them came from Tommy. 1 of them came from Robles, and that was the only RBI of the game. And everybody else seemed to struggle. Brendan Davenport did not have any stats, so we'll not count him. But Caden Irwin only got 1 walk, 0 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 at-bats. Ben Wilson had 2 walks in his 2 at-bats, but 2 walks are great, but if you're not getting any impactful hits, it's really hard to come back from such a tough loss like this. And this is the first time for Robles that he's really faced any adversity in the MLW. I mean, against the Cobras, put up a really good fight, but this is the first time that he was figured out pretty easily. Was not able to get anything done, and that's when we saw the Mallards just really collapse. They have more offensive pressure than they did last year, but when they're going up against a really good pitcher like Dallas Allen, like Daniel Schultz, I mean, they just can't get as much done as they would like to. I mean, obviously they're going to get some runs, but in the long run, like, it's almost impossible for them to have any consistent offensive pressure, especially when you have a pitcher who's just not playing super well. As soon as Robles is kind of phased out, or he is figured out in the playoffs, like, what are they going to do? They have no one to turn to. So yet again, we see that Robles went. So everybody on the Mallards went hitless. 2 walks for Robles and Caden Irwin in this game 3, and Tommy had 1 walk with 3 strikeouts. Dallas Allen pitched another no-hitter, had 5 walks on 5 Ks. So definitely trying to protect that streak, but eventually did get it shut down in that last inning. It was very close for him to let up his first run of the year, but still having a 0 ERA going into the All-Star break is absolutely fantastic. Jordan Robles let up 6 earned runs, had 7 walks and 5 Ks. You could just tell he's trying to control that ball and wasn't able to. And when he wasn't able to, I mean, Daniel took him long. Dallas was able to get a couple hits. The rest of the Eagles guys were able to just basically get walked in. And then after those 2 innings, I mean, pretty much they didn't have to do anything. So, I mean, that's just the magic of Dallas Allen and Daniel Schultz this year. They're just that dang good. So what are our takeaways? Yet again, the Eagles are pretty much locked in after the All-Star break for the number 1 seed. I don't think anybody's going to be in contention of that. They just beat the second best team in the NL pretty easily. Now it's pretty much going to be a dogfight between the Gators, the Mallards, and the D-backs to try and see who's going to make the playoffs. Obviously, the D-backs are way, way, way down there in the rankings. They're currently in last in the NL, and meanwhile, even though the Mallards did get swept by a similar team, they are at least second in their division at 5-4. It's nothing to panic for if you're a Mallards fan. Obviously, you're still going to make the playoffs, but I think currently this is time you start looking for trades. You need that second arm. Currently, you have a lot of batters who are good, but not necessarily, doing too much for you. You already have 2 great hitters in Robles and Tommy, so Tommy may be looking for somebody to be that second arm for them. Obviously, you can look around in the league. Who do you think? If you check out the MLW Patreon, Drew has a really good video on this, so I'm not going to go into it because I might step over his stuff. So check that out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should the Mallards trade again? They have a lot of draft capital. They have a few picks. So a player and a pick for a pretty good second arm would be really good. They're probably not going to get anybody like Nick Saylor. They're probably not going to get like a Stephen McGlade, but I'm sure they're out of the other teams. There's a guy who is willing to get traded, trying to find a way to get onto a very good Mallard squad with a great player. And if you're an Eagles fan, you're out of this world right now. Happy. 8-1 is a great start. Through 2 sweeps and only 1 loss. It looks like it's just going to be a dominating year for the Eagles, one of the most dominating years. I mean, you thought last year with the D-backs was pretty dominant, but this year is even more dominant with the Eagles. They are about to sweep their division. They are about to absolutely control the NL. They're going to have probably a bye in the first round unless something miraculous happens. So I think that you are pretty much ecstatic and ready for the playoffs. If you're an Eagles fan, you want to get your young guys more minutes, rest, Zach and Dan for a little bit, maybe try some new guys at pitching. I mean, you really have nothing to lose if you have Dallas on the mound pitching like that. You may actually want to save Dallas, or maybe you don't. You want to keep that streak going. So let me know what you think in the comments. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.